Hi everybody, and thanks for taking part in the workshop page so far. The whole concept of the editing is it's going great, and it's keeping everybody occupied at the minute. But I am aware that there are people who don't have the sufficient skills to take part in some of the exercises that are taking place. So I'm making this video specifically for those people who I hope will take part if they'll gain a bit of confidence from watching this video. Um, and the whole concept basically is that we all improve. And whether it's in the field or whether it's on the PC, unfortunately, you have to put a little bit of effort in, and unless you know what to do, it's difficult. So obviously, for every one of us that know how to do something, it's easy, and this is why I'm making this video for the people who find things difficult, just to know where to start and how to do a basic edit. For me, my editing, starting off, it has been difficult, but 10 years in, I guess I'm developing a routine, a bit of a workflow, and a workflow is important. So here we have our image. I've downloaded it to the computer and imported it into Lightroom. Basically, Lightroom is what we call like a photo manager. It allows you to manage your images within a library, and as you can see, we're in the library mode here. It then allows you to develop your images, and it has a develop mode. Um, Basically, Lightroom manages your photos that are on your hard drive. But to manage your photos, you have to import them in, and you have to basically tell Lightroom where they are. So just very simply, you come down here to import, and I downloaded that image a while ago, and it came into downloads, and as you can see, that's the image there. It's grayed out simply because I already have it imported. So you just click import, and it comes in here to Lightroom. So I'm going to develop this image. I'm going to work on the image, and that's in the develop module. I'm just going to close these tabs just so that we have a bigger window to work in. And the first thing I'm going to do first thing I do with all my images is I enable the profile correction. And as you can see, that fixes any distortion that's in the image. I'm going to remove chromatic aberration, and then we're ready to go back up the top and start working from the top down. All of these adjustments that you make here, so you have exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows. So the way Lightroom is designed, and for anyone that doesn't have Lightroom, it's exactly the same as the Adobe Camera Raw, the ACR in Photoshop. You have the exact same adjustments, only these adjustments here you'll find them up here on the top. Just make that screen bigger. So the first thing I will do is after making my profile correction, I will do a white balance. I'll check the white balance. I always check auto. Now for me, what auto does, excuse me, what auto does is it neutralizes my whites. It neutralizes my midtones. In this instance, the midtones would be here on the wall and the house. If we just do a check back, that's as shot. That's a little warm because for me, the sky is a fraction warm. Auto is auto's better, but I feel it's just lost that little bit of warmth. So I'm going to just nudge the temperature slider back up to about there. So the sky is cooler and the land is just a fraction warmer. The next thing I'll do is I'll just bring down the highlights marginally and open the shadows gradually, just marginally as well. Now, I'm not going to make any adjustments here because it's global adjustments. I'm going to make more refined adjustments. So the concept of this edit is to draw the eye to the wall and the house. That's the primary, and everything else is secondary. So everything else is complementary, with the wall and the house being primary. So the idea is to draw the eye to here from here. So we're going to darken the surrounding areas gradually, and that should bring the eye to here. The area of most interest should have the most contrast. So the most contrast is going to be added to these areas. So I'm going to use the graduated filter, which you'll see over here. And I'm going to bring down the adjustment by, we'll say, 0.7 of a stop. That's close enough. And I'm going to start darkening. I'm just going to make the screen bigger. So this is a graduated filter like we'd use in the field. These two lines, that's your graduation. The closer they are together, the less graduation. Or just accentuate that. The more you pull it out, the more you separate those lines, the more graduation you have. So again, I'm just going to go back up to 0.7. And I'm just going to start darkening around the image. Just delete that one. I'm just going to start darkening around the image just to draw the eye. I'm going to click New, pull a gradient up here. That should throw the viewer to the wall. New. Unfortunately, there are so many different ways to do anything. In Lightroom and Photoshop, but I think if you can just get, just delete that, I didn't want to do that. Just get a workflow. So as you can see, we're gradually darkening, small increments. Make one more here. And maybe one more there. Delete that. Okay, so we have drawn the eye. We'll do before and after. There's a before and after. So we have gradually drawn the eye to the house by darkening the surrounding areas. We haven't brightened the wall, we've just darkened this area. I've darkened this area to keep the viewer. That's where we want the viewer, in there, right there. So just go back to full screen. I'm just going to add a little bit of light on the house now, and I'm going to use a radial filter. So the way the radial filters work, they're kind of really, I think, designed for portrait photography and that. But so basically, I'm drawing a radial filter there, and anything outside that when I darken is being affected. Vice versa, you can click invert, and it's inside is affected. So we want it outside, and we're only going to make an adjustment by point. What are we doing? We're brightening by 0.2. No, we're darkening by 0.2. So we're darkening everything outside just by 0.2, just very, very small. As you can see, it's just a really minor adjustment, but it just throws a little bit of light on the house. We hit done. Finally, I'm going to add a little vignette, just a very, very little vignette. I usually go to 14. It's my favorite. And finally, I'm going to just move the whites. Watch the histogram move to the right. I'm just moving the whites, and this is adding contrast. And just a little bit of black. And open the shell ever so slightly. No, I haven't touched saturation. I haven't touched vibrance. Just do a full screen. F for full screen and back again. Do before and after. Back to full screen. The only thing I'm looking at here now is a few dust spots. So we'll fix the dust spots by using this tool here. Zoom in, Control and plus, Command and plus on a Mac. Image is nice and sharp, but I will sharpen. I'll just show you how I would sharpen in Lightroom. Click on the spot, and Lightroom patches it for you. Very small in there. Space bar to move around. Small in there. Small in there. That's the general idea. Command and minus to go back, and plus. Let's go to that. There we go. Finally, the last thing I would do is if you want to sharpen. So that's a nice moody image. If you want to sharpen, I would you come in here to the detail section. We'll leave the sharpening at 40, detail at 25, and the radius at 1. So what the radius is you're basically you're sharpening at 1 pixel wide. So you're sharpening edges. The bigger the radius, the bigger the edge. So it tends to look a bit unnatural. Masking basically, so at the minute I'm sharpening the whole image. The more I pull this masking slider to the right, the less that's being sharpened. So if we press Alt on the keyboard or Control on a PC and we grab that slider, the whole screen goes white. So at the minute, so you take it to 100, what's in white is being sharpened, and you pull it back to the left. So the whole image is being sharpened now. So the more you slide it to the right, the less that's being sharpened. We don't want to sharpen the sky. We really don't want to sharpen a whole pile, only mainly the house. So as you can see, we have the house, the trees, and the wall, and a bit of the surrounding area. So that'll do. That's all that needs to be sharpened. Before and after, and there you have a nice moody image. So hope uh, I hope this helps. As I say, um, the concept of this is to help people get started. Um, I really would like to see more people post their images in the group, do a bit more editing. I'm all for getting people involved. So yeah, let's see how this one goes. I might do some more videos. If there's any requests, put them on the page, and we'll see where it goes from here. Enjoy the hope. I hope it's okay. Hope it comes out, and enjoy it.